Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the version 2.6 live streams preview of the character banners to come. So I'm just going to go over this and then we'll talk about the characters in a brief way, and since hopefully this won't take too long. So in the first phase, we're going to be getting Kamisato Ayato, who will be the new 5-star character, and he'll be using Hydro swords. And then next to him, we'll get a rerun for Venti, who is, as you all know, he was the original first ever featured character, and he already had one rerun previously. And now for the Windbloom Festival, I believe, 1.4, and then he's now back, which is a whole year later, basically. Now he's back for 2.6. And then he's also a 5-star, and he's Animo and Bow user. And then lastly, we will be getting Ayato's sister, who we already have, Kamisato Ayaka, and she's a 5-star Cryo Sword user. So first off the bat, these three characters are all amazing. Well, we don't have Ayato yet, but he looks amazing, and that's in the preview already officially. Venti is a very amazing character. I recently did a review video for him, so do check that out. I also did Ayaka's review before, so those are still valid for now, but I might rebuild them moving forward, but for now, those videos are still valid, so do check those out, and feel free to like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and leave any comments or questions as well. Speaking of comments and questions, so one person did point out in my Venti review video recently for the rerun predictions that I did say, and I own it, and I do feel this way, that Venti is no longer a must-pull unit, but he does offer a lot of benefits, let's say, to players, especially to new and mid-game players. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting him, but I would say he's no longer a must-pull unit, especially if you're late game. But for collectors out there and for people that are in the early game, yes, getting him is very important because he does do something that many other characters cannot do. Like Sucrose can't do it as well as him for crowd control, for example, if you're newer to the game and you don't have Kazuha yet. And then also because I would say Venti will just make your traversal through the game, especially early and mid game, much more smoother. So he is still very good in that sense. It's just that as an Archon, he's just not as let's just say must pull, or as, let's say, he hasn't kept his luster as much as like Zhongli or Raiden Shogun have, let's say. But you never know, because also another valid point that my commenter also pointed out, which I totally agreed with and I responded, it's all there, is that Venti moving forward could still have very good use in the future, because there's so many more regions that have not been unlocked yet. There's probably likely going to be more DLC regions, more limited regions that are coming for like one time, like for example those islands that we went to for a Please summer event last year, or other just regions in general like Sumeru, Fontaine, Snezhnaya, all those places, right? We don't know what those places are going to be like yet, right? So having him there as an Archon still means that the game, like Hoyoverse, is not going to like make him like completely like useless, right? They're not going to like kill off his use. So I would just say there's that. Okay. Now with that being said though, yeah, he is still very useful, but I already did the full review of him, so do check it out there. But I think that yeah, if you're a late game player and you're watching this, you already know what I'm talking about when I say he's not a must pull unit for late game. I mean, I don't mind having him, but I don't even use him myself. But there's nothing wrong with that. Now, moving forward, just to talk about Ayaka first, and then we'll circle back to Ayato and this. So for Ayaka, I think she's a really great DPS cryo character. I still use her in the Abyss to this day. She's great at at C0, and now I would say that she's very useful. And if you're free to play or low spend, if you can get her. If you can get all three characters, that would be the best, right? If you can get them all, or because they're all good in their own way. But if you had to pick between her and Venti from the rerun group, okay, then maybe, like, I don't know, it's up to you depending on what you're lacking. But I would pick her over him because, depending on also where you are in the game, because she still has a lot of usage, in my opinion. However, if you were to pick her or Ayato, then it's up to you then, because they're both sword users, right? So it's really just the element that's slightly different. So, I mean, I'll put it like that. Speaking of her, though, this is the first time where she will be on her own in the second phase of version 2.6 because Ayato and Venti will be on phase 1 and she will be on phase 2. It's the first time because normally with Yaimiko, she was on phase 1 by herself, and then Raiden Shogun and Kokumi, who are currently on the rerun section of phase 2 and 2.5, are together like that. And previously, Ito was on phase 1 himself, and then phase 2 was the rerun characters. So, this time forward, they reversed it, so they're having Ayato and Venti on phase one, and then Ayaka on her own on phase two. I'm surprised that they didn't just take this opportunity to rerun a fourth character or another character, a third rerun character, but a fourth character overall, to go with phase two. Maybe they did, and then maybe that's why that was one of their considerations, but maybe they chose not to. I really wanted Kazuha, but I'm actually kind of glad that he's not here then, because I'm definitely going for Ayato. So let's circle back to Ayato. So obviously I don't have him on the screen, so I'll just go to like Raiden or something, because they share a lot of things together, like alike. Like her Q burst, Raiden, who is my favorite character. I feel like Kamisato Ayato has very like his E skill is very similar, like the way that the water slashes, like the Hydra slashes are up here on the screen, it's very similar. So I think that's cool. So I'm definitely going for Kamisato Ayato, and my plan is that I am getting him for a guarantee because I lost a 50-50 just by simply doing pity, like trying to build pity on the character banner, and I got a C6 Mona, which is fine. I did a review of her as well, and I don't mind, right? And then I thought, okay, well that's fine. So then now I have a guarantee for him. So I did break my streak of getting three super low spend, super free, like limited characters, basically. So, Yaimiko was the most recent one. Then previous to that was, Ito, right? So I broke my streak, unfortunately, because I did get that loss there, and I got the Mona instead. But that's okay, nothing wrong with that, right? So now I have a guarantee for Ayato, and no matter what, I'm going to like pull and make sure that I get him into my thing. Oh, and the other one was Shenhe back then as well. So yeah. So anyway, I would just say that I'm looking forward to him. I'm definitely going to do a full analysis of him once I get him, and maybe a pre-release analysis once we get some more information about him, because right now it's just a preview. But for now, let's just leave it at that. I'm looking forward to these character banners. I am not going to poll on Venti or Ayaka's banner. I looked ahead already, and I already did reviews of them both, so I don't need constellations on Venti, and I don't need constellations on Ayaka. If I wanted constellations on Ayaka, I would have to go deep. I would have to go past C1, because C1 is just a cooldown reduction. I would have to go into like C2, and I'm not really willing to spend for that, so I'm not going to. So for me, Venti and Ayaka are skips because I already have them, and I'm fine with them the way that they are. And for those of you who are interested, just watch those reviews and I'll go into more depth there. Ayato, I'm going to leave it at C0 as well for now. I don't know what his constellations are, but we'll see if I like him so much. Like, you know how I really like Raiden Shogun, and I went into C3 for her. So that was a very specific thing. We'll see if I like Ayato more or not. I have a favoritism basically towards one single hand sword users and polearm users. So that's just my gameplay style, hack and slashy and fast paced. I don't really I think of all the weapon types in this game, I don't really prefer bow the most. That's why, yeah, I don't really know. And then you know how like they might be, because they already kind of there may be a potential bow user, let's say, coming in 2.7. So I'm that one my first time skipping a 5-star character. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But then Catalyst users are like kind of in the middle for me. Like some of them I really like, some of them yeah. So I don't mind them. So they're kind of middle road for me. And Claymore users are also middle road for me. But my lowest type that I don't like is actually bow users. And I say that with the caveat that I like Child a lot, because Child he switches into blades. That's why he's not really a bow user in my opinion. So like that's the only difference, right? That's why I really like him. For those of you who follow me, you guys know that I really like him. That's why I'm willing to invest in him, right? Um, yeah, but other bow users, even Ganyu, I don't really use her anymore. Like, I still like what she can do. Of course, she still has her use, but I don't really prefer it. Let's put it that way. So me. This is not meant to be offensive. I'm just saying, sharing my thoughts. Because on PS5, I'm just not really good at using the bow. That's just me. So anyway, with that being said, I'll leave it there. I'm looking forward to these characters. What are you guys' thoughts? Are you guys pulling for any of them? All of them? Are you getting translations for them? What do you guys think? And please let me know in the comments. And we'll stay tuned for the next video where I will be talking about I guess Kamisato Ayato, some more. Or actually, let me see. I'm actually going to be talking more about, I guess, the artifacts that are coming first. And then, yeah, we'll save all the Kamisato Ayato discussions until later. And I'll probably be talking about the new weapon for him and the weapon options. So, yeah, stay tuned. Thank you.